Hey guys, welcome back to my 2012 Halloween watch list. This is a countdown I'm doing this month, talking about all the movies that I am watching leading up to Halloween. Today is the 13th. Unfortunately, we didn't hit Friday the 13th, which would have been fun for the Halloween viewing season for obvious reasons. But today is Saturday the 13th, and in honor of that, I'm wearing my shirt. You can see that there of Jason, and he's very sad because it was Saturday the 13th. Womp womp. But what I thought I might do is, if for some reason I can turn this into an annual thing and really work this out, I would like to dedicate the 13th just to Friday the 13th. Not necessarily my favorite, not necessarily the best. Really, the way I decided this is, I thought to myself, which of these movies have I probably seen the least? The one I came to was this one, Jason X. I actually didn't even really remember what it was about. And I've been kind of thinking about the last couple of years, thinking, I should go back and watch this. I'm not for sure if I saw this at the theaters or not, but I either saw it at the theaters or I saw it right when it came out on DVD, and I don't know if I've seen it since. But this one I got used in this little box set here that's just got the later release movies. Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason. All the stuff that was done by New Line. But yeah, so this is the one that we're going to talk about today. I'm now going to get into the whole thing. I've shown you my shirt, so I'm going to turn off the lights. Okay, the lights are all down. It's all spookified. Okay, let's talk about Jason X. For me to actually even talk about creating a scary atmosphere, this is not scary at all. But it is a lot of fun. I actually surprisingly had a good time watching this. It's so cheesy and it's so out of its element. That's the best part about it. This movie feels like a sci-fi television show many times. The whole premise of the movie and where it goes is just, it seems like a last-ditch effort just to do something different. And if you just accept it at face value and don't look beyond the fun cheesiness of it, you'll have a good time. The cast itself is okay, nothing really exceptional to talk about. I do want to mention that David Cronenberg's here at the very beginning of the movie. I really enjoyed seeing him in this, although he's only in there for a split second. And I thought that was kind of a waste. But the premise of this is it's slightly set in the future. This was done in 2002, and I think they're talking about, maybe 2010, 2015, something like that. I don't really remember. Later it mentions that he was executed in 2008 for the first time. So in this future, it has to be a little bit past 2008. And what happens is the military wants Jason, because after them trying to execute him like 3 times, he doesn't die. So the military wants him, and David Cronenberg is there with the military, and they're taking Jason. He gets loose, of course, like always, and then is frozen by a woman that's there that's, she refreezes him, and in the process, she gets herself frozen. And oddly enough, nobody touches him or this girl. Remember what year it is that says in the future. In the year 2455. In the year 2455, they have computer LCD screens that sell at Walmart now for $25. You go to the year 2455, and that's where Jason will be wreaking havoc. Strangely enough, they thaw out the girl and they revive her with these nanotech type things. And then what you get is not really this Jason. See this Jason over here that you see with all this big silver shiny mask type thing? That's at the very, very end. You really only get the regular Jason in the messed up mask. But it's very funny, some of the things they do. There's some kind of cheesy CGI stuff in here that isn't too great. There's some fun kills that are in practical effects. Once the story gets going, there's a face-off between him and this lady android. That's hilarious. The acting's very cheesy and kind of soap opera-like, so it's kind of fun to see this one girl that is kind of that way anyway, but she's a robot, to see her talk about, fighting Jason. Later on, Jason, after being supposedly killed again. That's where we get this. I won't run any of it for you, but there is a second incarnation of Jason Voorhees in this movie. And that's still just leading towards more chaos and more craziness. Surprisingly, it takes 30 minutes to get to Jason is awake. I thought that was a little much. I probably would have cut out 15 minutes there at the beginning and just left them out completely. You didn't even need the 15 minutes at the end of the movie or anywhere in between. Just cut out the 15 minutes of build-up in the story. A lot of the characters that are in this in the future are not that interesting anyway, so I didn't really need to know that much about the future. Basically, the whole plot device on this movie is there's a guy in the future that he's a doctor, and his big medicine type research thing that he's doing is going to make him money off of selling the Jason body. Once they figure out it's the killer Jason Voorhees, they realize that he's worth a lot of money to a collector of ancient artifacts. So odd as that seems, that's kind of the plot device. They don't want to kill him. They don't want to get rid of him. They want to keep him on the ship, and he, of course, thaws out, wreaks havoc, as you can imagine. It's very predictable after the fact, but there are some funny moments in this. It's really probably worthy to watch for the laugh moments. Those are actually pretty good. There's some cool things with holographic imaging that they do that both Jason kind of doesn't understand and he does, and that's hilarious to see Jason, trying to think, you know what I mean, and him getting tricked by technology. It's kind of odd. And as a whole, I thought it was fun. I was glad I picked it. I don't think I would have picked up Jason, X off the shelf at any given moment had it not been the 13th, Saturday the 13th, and me thinking to myself, I want to watch a random Friday the 13th movie. And I was actually pretty happy with this one. If you guys get a chance, definitely check that out. Let me know what your favorite Friday the 13th is. Personally, my favorite Friday the 13th is part 6, Jason Lives. For the next section here, as this was kind of unlucky, we didn't get Friday the 13th, we got Saturday the 13th. We didn't get the lucky or unlucky Friday the 13th, depending on how you look at it. I'm going to switch you guys over to the bonus segment now. Being Saturday the 13th, I found it quite lucky that I could go to my local post office and see that this arrived. So I was very lucky in this regard. And as you can see by that logo, Amazon IT, Amazon ES, Amazon.co.uk, Amazon.de. This is a European Amazon box. They use basically the same box in all those countries, so it's kind of hard for you guys to guess what country it's from. But I will say that this came from Amazon UK, and I'm very, very excited. So you guys are going to get a Halloween month unboxing, a special unboxing just for this Halloween series. I know you guys enjoy my unboxing, so why not throw in a bonus segment with a bonus unboxing? Okay. Get the receipt out here. A little bit of padding. And here's the big reveal. What's inside the box? It is the UK version in the Coffin box set, Universal Monsters, the Essential Collection. Now, you guys might be familiar. They did do a version of this for the US. It got Frankenstein's monster there at the top in the coffin. And on the sides, there's the mummy and the Invisible Man. There's the bride. She is there. Here's the Wolfman. That's the Phantom, and there's the creature down there. What's cool about this, because you might be asking yourself, why would you import something from the UK when you could go down to your local Best Buy, Walmart, Target, anywhere, and get the US version? Well, I'll tell you why. Not only do they not have a nifty little box set like this that's in a coffin, this is half the price of the one in the US. That is correct. This is half. In fact, I think it was less than half. It was about 37 pounds which I think was shipping was like 38 or 39, which is roughly like 60 bucks, 50 something dollars. The one in the US, last I checked, was $112.99, I believe, was $111.99 was the one that I saw on Amazon. So this is basically half the price, and it's region-free Blu-rays. That's right, these Blu-rays are region-free. So not only are you getting basically the same thing, minus maybe some interior, art card type things, you are also getting Blu-ray set that works exactly the same as the US version. There shouldn't be any difference really to speak of. In fact, this includes the 3D Blu-ray version of The Creature, restored back to its original 3D status. But yes, they did in the UK release a completely different set than we got. There is another set that's not in the coffin. This was the special limited edition that comes in the coffin, as you can see there, limited edition. They also released individual releases, which is, to me, very strange, because we didn't get that in the US. So if you like only Frankenstein, or you only like The Mummy or whatever, you can get those individually. Sucker is really put together. There's a sticker right there on the front. This actually comes off, so you don't have to have that stuff there. It just says RIP there, RIP. Rest in peace to the monsters. This is what the coffin looks like once you open it up. Very cool. And it's got a center box that holds it like so. It's got a center box that's kind of squared up so that it will hold this directly like it should. Cool thing is on this, which I really, really enjoy, they did get a fold-out case, and I know how bad it is in the US about putting stuff in paper cardboard. I hadn't really seen for sure, but I knew that this one was going to be on plastic. This one is like a digipack style. So here is the bride, and unfortunately it's got all those logos that tell the age restrictions and everything on there, but that's no big deal. That's just straight, disc art. That's no big deal. Most of the time I don't see that. But look at that great artwork. That amazing. And then there's also artwork, of course, behind the discs. So if you remove both those discs, there's more artwork there. I won't go into all of that, but I'll just say I am very impressed with the UK release. If you guys, any of you are on the fence about getting the US version, this one is cool. And as far as I know, it is region free. That's what they plastered all over Amazon.co.uk. Here is the art cards. I believe this was in the US version also. I don't know if it looked exactly like this, but it is the original poster art, which is pretty cool. There's the bride one. This is just like my blanket. If you guys wonder exactly what my blanket looks like in full size, this is actually it. That's identical to what it is. If you guys have never seen the full thing, there's the Invisible Man, Mummy, and of course the Wolfman. Very cool. So all that comes in here, and it comes with a little red rubber band around it. Thank you, Europe. Here's a little insert thing that tells all of the different bonus features, tells the running time, all the different things about all the movies itself. They're there. And then we get this book, which is very cool. It's very thick. Very heavy duty. I think it's great. I'm going to flip through it a little bit so you guys can see that. But awesome stuff. I'm just kind of skipping around. But this is a really thick, nice book. Not hardcover, of course, but it is very good quality of paper. There's the bride. Love me some bride. But yeah, I'm just skipping around there. Awesome stuff. I am so elated to have this finally on Blu-ray. And what can I say? Whatever's in the US version compared to this, honestly, I highly doubt it's worth an additional 60 bucks. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that the US version is not going to be good. I'm not saying that, it isn't maybe got something else that these don't. But as far as I know, disc-wise, the discs are the same. I didn't really see any additional stuff. Now, there might be a completely whole bonus disc that's not included on this one. I didn't look that far into it, but like I said, once I realized I was getting all the movies and I was getting this cool box, I didn't really figure there was anything in that US set that was worth $60, because that's what it really boiled down to. Looks like to me there is not an additional disc. This one includes 8 discs, so if you look at the US version, it says it has 9 discs, then you would know that basically that's where the difference is. But as a whole, I am very happy. I'm elated. And right now, this is my favorite box set in the collection. And couldn't be happier that they opted to put Frankenstein around the cover. But it is designed to set like this, like a coffin, has the word monsters across it, and there is 2 versions of this UK version. There is this limited edition, and then there's a regular version. I would go ahead and pay the extra, I think it's like £5 or something to get this box. It's definitely worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this surprise unboxing of a great set that I'm very excited about, that probably lots of you maybe haven't seen. My European viewers probably have seen this quite a bit, especially you guys in the UK. But for you guys here in the US, I can almost, say for certain that I haven't seen very many of these popping up online. And maybe you haven't either, so maybe this was a good thing to see. Alrighty, I will leave it at that, and I will see you guys again tomorrow as we continue on with more of my Halloween 2012 watch list. Alright, you guys have a good one.